Originally, I don't think that's on here. That was somehow missed originally, and it was added in now. And I believe the structure, I guess I don't have that here, but I think...
maybe that's why they moved the grading up, so they could get the structure built.
No, they moved it up because I was concerned with the July letting of 2011 to have a paving July of 2012. We need that full summer, first for summer, if we're going to let the paving contractor in July of the next year.
Have, like the structure over the Raccoon or the Cedar, have those been let, or are they soon?
Let's see here. Basically, I believe, okay, all the structures, I believe, are let at the same time as the grading.
And you said all the grading from N33 in Calhoun County are going to be...
Oh, and all the grading is
2010, July 2010, those two.
we have July of 2000 and you said from when? Where?
N33, 3 miles in Calhoun.
To N14.
Into where your grading contract ends now. Because you let that first...
We have let right now to Iowa 4 for grading.
That you let west of there too.
That okay, May of 09. Yeah, we had from there to N33. That was so that was let. Everything else, July of 2000, next July. That gets us to N
3 miles.
190
Calhoun.
Well, that's west of N28.
No,
Or east of N28.
It's 3 miles. It's got a number, but there's no paved road, so you don't. There's no.
It's a farm, it's a big white.
Oh, I see.
It's by the Little Red Schoolhouse.
Well, and I was over there a couple of weeks ago, and they're by Wally Newbaum's there. Their equipment's sitting right there.
Oh yeah. But they'll.
So cheaper to build, must be cheaper to build 2 bridges than build 1 bridge and have 4 lanes on 1 bridge.
Well, you got your median. Yeah. I mean, you.
Well, it's like when they went over the Iowa River, that big bridge, they instead of building 2 individual bridges.
Well, but I guess I don't know the.
It must be cheaper.
You'd have to.
Well, yeah, you got to bring.
You got a 50-foot median. You'd have to bring the lanes in.
Yeah.
Or
that's like, I mean, they did it at the Iowa River, but that was an unusual circumstance. Just height in the valley and so on.
Well, I know
people ask why, people off the street, why they building 2 bridges, why they just build 1 big bridge and bring lanes together and fan it back out.
Well,
It's cheap.
yeah, our geometry people who are designing the alignment, they probably avoid that at all costs. Now, at Correctionville, I know we're looking at building 1 large bridge and continuing up the, with the 5-lane instead of a 4-lane. But it's you're coming out of a urban type section, and so it's obviously easier to do. But rural area, generally, I would say we're looking at 2 bridges.
I think from a safety way, they seem apart.
Well, you're right. When they trucked that dirt from Moreland, I was running 20 a lot. They did that borrow pit by Old 20. And they used quarry trucks to haul that. Well, that's a lot. Time-consuming haul clay 5 miles.
On the ponding easements, the state, they can access those when they're building the road, is that correct?
Well,
On the ponding, if you want to take your equipment across the ponding easement, you can.
I'm looking for an example. I would say no. To me, the purpose of buying this is not for our construction. Where we're buying the permanent right-of-way, or if we buy temporary easement somewhere, that's for construction. But I would have to say, I don't believe there's any reason why we have the contractor to get in there. It's really all we're doing is compensating the property owner for something that we'd rather deal with now than we will later. It's not needed for the project. So I would say I'm 99% sure that we have no right to be on
So
there.
the state has no claim to be on that property?
On the ponding easements?
On the easements. It's strictly for water, it's not for the state using,
That's
for construction or anything like that?
my understanding. I guess it.
I talked to somebody that said that they could do that.
I'll double check, and again, when I get back, I don't see why we would have any right to it. We're paying for an easement, but we have temporary easements we buy, but we also have.
See, we're losing that tax base too.
No. What, the ponding easement?
Easement.
We have no right to it, to be on there.
Kind of my point.
I'll double check on that. I see no reason why that wouldn't stay on the tax rolls and why we would have any right to be on it.
Across the hallway.
What, the treasurer or whoever? The
Attorney.
Okay. I'll double check with our right-of-way people, but I don't see why we would have any right to it or why.
Well, yes and no, and as far as the taxation on it, we don't pay, the state doesn't pay taxation on road easements in any
Right.
other place, so why would they?
But see, the ponding easements aren't a permanent, or it's a compensation tool. It's not that we have any right to do anything with the land. So,
There's some discussion, I mean,
Yeah, I thought I talked to
it's
somebody
not plain.
at
okay.
one of the
I'll get
departments, because
clarification.
whatever department I call, it's always the wrong one. It's either...
With the DOT?
Yeah. Well, you got purchasing, and you got this, and then you got design, and whatever one I call, it's the wrong
Okay.
one.
I will get
But
you.
one of them said, I thought one of them said that the state could use that while the construction was going on, because what we were going to do is we were going to remove it from taxation, and then after the highway's built, then go back and see if it's actually being farmed again, and then put it back into taxation.
First time for me for these ponding easements, so we'll double check. I know we've done it before, and we'll get you.
First time for us too. With all of it.
And Bob's an old timer, so.
Part of that, I'm just kind of, in that respect, I mean, it just seems common sense. And I've been in construction, and, I know what we use for temporary easements, and it's not a temporary easement, it's not a permanent easement, it's a ponding easement. So, we'll get the answer.
Find out.
Yeah.
Because even on the first part, further east, they didn't even do ponding.
Right. And again, the whole purpose of this is so we realize why deal with it later when we're looking at things, deal with it when we're purchasing right away and only deal with it once.
Because the ponding easement, again, is just there because you put the road through a pond, and it's going to push water further back and higher than it was before. That's what they're trying to pay for, is that displacing
But
that water.
it doesn't mean it's going to be a pond all the time. It just means when it rains, it's not, there's less buckets to be filled up elsewhere, so it's got to go somewhere.
Concrete doesn't absorb water, so. I mean, that's all, the whole thing with flooding on last year's, all the concrete parking lots, streets, anytime you increase runoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a combination of things here. You not only got the hard surface that don't absorb, but then you take part of the pond that used to store water, and all of a sudden it's full of dirt, so you got to push the water.
Yeah,
push the water back.
so reshape the pond.
Yeah.
I have another question. When you're purchasing this ground, they're paying not only for the ground, but they also pay, I can't think like for
Access
damages.
control? Oh, okay, damages. Okay.
But there's a name for it, I can't name what it is. But do they,
The damages would be things like,
it's not damages, it's something else.
I think I have a couple
Do you have a-
parcels.
Yeah, starts with an S. Paper lock on me. But it seems to me that maybe they're,
I don't have it. I just have a plat. I just thought I might have a purchase agreement, but